Leaders, have your raw emotions ever spilled into your leadership? A sharp reaction, a visible withdrawal, a decision made in the heat of the moment that you later question? If so, this exploration isn't just helpful, it's essential. Today, we conduct a deep dive into poor emotional regulation in leaders. We'll unmask how specific patterns, from impulsive reactions and outbursts to emotional withdrawal and an inability to manage stress, stem from deep psychological roots and create a profound and damaging ripple effect across your entire team. Understanding this is the first critical step towards a more stable, trusting, and high-performing environment. First, let us examine the leader prone to impulsivity and emotional outbursts. This isn't the charisma of passion. It's often the chaos of unregulated emotion, reacting without thinking, making rash decisions under emotional fire, or blurting out comments that wound and escalate. This pattern can stem from low frustration tolerance, difficulty containing intense emotions, or perhaps deeply learned behavioral responses. The impact on the team is immediate and corrosive. Innovation dies, not in silence, but under tension, when every word is filtered through fear. Communication becomes guarded, filtered through a lens of fear. Team members learn to walk on eggshells, prioritizing the leader's emotional appeasement over honest dialogue or innovative risk-taking. Psychological safety is fractured. History offers cautionary tales of leaders known for their volatile tempers. While they may have commanded obedience through fear, they rarely cultivate deep loyalty or the kind of collaborative genius that drives lasting success. Their reign was often one of anxiety, not allegiance. The illusion here is that such displays signify power or control. The psychological reality of this, however, is that each outburst, each impulsive, unfiltered reaction chips away at respect, erodes at trust, and ultimately diminishes the leader's true influence, replacing it with mere intimidation. But not all dysregulation is loud. Some of the most profound impacts comes from a quieter yet equally potent emotional absence. Consider the leader who responds to pressure or emotional challenges by suppressing, withdrawing, or shutting down. They retreat, silent in meetings, vague in direction, and emotionally unavailable when it matters most. This isn't stoicism. It's often a defense mechanism rooted in a fear of vulnerability, an attempt to manage overwhelming internal stress by creating distance, or perhaps a history where expressing emotion was unsafe or dismissed. For a team, this emotional absenteeism is deeply destabilizing. The team feels like it's flying blind. It breeds uncertainty, kills momentum, and can be interpreted as indifference or disapproval. Decisions stall, initiative fades. The team is left rudderless, grappling with a void where guidance and connection should be. This vacuum speaks louder than words. In absence, the team fills the blanks, often with fear, doubt, and misinterpretation. And if your team is navigating such disconnections, feeling the strain of a leader's emotional distance, know that fostering open dialogue is possible. In the description below, you'll find a link to a free webinar I host, which provides practical frameworks to help rebuild those crucial communication bridges and restore trust. The perceived safety of emotional withdrawal is a dangerous illusion for a leader. While it might offer temporary internal relief, it starves the team of essential connection, clarity, and confidence, slowly eroding the very foundations of collaborative work. You see, beyond overt outbursts or withdrawal, other subtle forms of emotional dysregulation can persistently sabotage a leader's effectiveness. Leaders are also human, yet an inability to delay emotional gratification, which is prioritizing immediate relief over considered long-term solutions, can lead to erratic decisions. A quick vent might feel good. An impulsive appeasement might quiet a complaint momentarily, but these often solve deeper problems. Similarly, rumination, which is getting psychologically stuck in loops of past slights or future anxieties, pulls a leader out of the present moment. Their capacity for objective assessment and learning from experience becomes compromised. The team experiences this as inconsistency, a lack of clear strategic thinking, or perceived favoritism if rumination centers on old grievances. They might see decisions that serve the leader's immediate emotional state rather than the team's collective good. History provides examples of leaders whose personal vendettas or inability to move past perceived insults clouded their judgment, leading to disastrous strategic blunders and fractured alliances, simply because their internal emotional landscape was allowed to dictate external policy. Consider Nokia's leadership during the smartphone revolution. Internal power struggles and emotional rigidity blinded them to the urgency of innovation, allowing Apple and Android to leap ahead. You see, when a leader's inner world is dominated by unprocessed past experiences or anxieties about the future, or by the need for immediate emotional soothing, they are not truly present. Leadership under emotional siege becomes reactive, erratic, and divorced from reality, a mirror of the leader's unresolved inner landscape. Recognizing these patterns is not about blame, but about opening the door to more conscious, regulated leadership. Developing emotional regulation is arguably one of the most critical and often most challenging aspects of leadership development. Why? Because it begins with rigorous self-awareness. Courageously identifying your own emotional triggers, your habitual reactive patterns, and the deeper needs or fears that might be fueling them. It involves understanding that while you can't always control the emotional spark, you are always responsible for what catches fire next. This isn't about suppressing emotion entirely, but about cultivating the capacity to experience feelings without being hijacked by them, allowing for more thoughtful, constructive, and consistent leadership. The positive impact on team trust, safety, and performance when the leader models and maintains emotional poise is immense. Because when you regulate yourself, you regulate the emotional climate of your entire team. That's not soft leadership, that's elite performance. So if you saw yourself in any of these patterns, the explosive, the withdrawn, or the distracted, good. Awareness is the beginning of mastery. Subscribe for more psychologically grounded strategies that don't just improve your leadership, they transform it. Because leadership isn't about control, it's about clarity. And clarity begins with you. See you next time. Peace.